What I've done most recently is to finish the editing for the June 26th, my dinner video. In Camtasia 2019. And to then render that video project file in full 1080p quality, as always, during the early night hours. While the June 26th, my dinner video, rendered, I sipped at somewhat frequent intervals an aluminum can of True Energy. From a 12-pack of them. Me and my mom found towards the end of a grocery shopping trip. We went on at the local Wegmans of her area. Roughly from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Around 2:15 p.m. I had a glass of whole milk, just like I'm having right now. With 2 Jimmy Dean's egg witches. And a lean cuisine crusted tapioca fish with rice meal. That's also what I had yesterday. Though of what I had at that time, only the whole milk was from today's Wegmans groceries shopping trip. After my mom picked me up from the Wegmans I work at after today's shift, which was from 8 in the morning to 1 p.m. Today was different as I was tasked with restocking merchandise from the front of the produce department rather than my usual of primarily restocking the banana section and the hard items section of the produce department. With those sections being at the back of the produce department, the banana section is at the very back, while the hard items section is right in front of the banana section and is basically different varieties of our onion and potato products. At the front of the produce department, at various points, I restocked apples, grapes, tomatoes, and wax paper boxes full of sweet corn. There was also a point in which I briefly restocked some lemons, bagged and bulk lemons for the citrus section of the produce department, which is more towards the middle of the produce department, as I recall it's right behind the front area of the produce department. At the time I restocked those bagged and bulk lemons, I also restocked bagged and bulk pears, along with a box of honeydews, which contained 5 whole honeydew melons. There was also a point in which I restocked some cantaloupes, and there were a couple points in which I operated a hand jack to restock some mini seedless watermelons. I recall today marked the first time I operated a hand jack during a shift at Wegmans. And the hand jacks at Wegmans are easy to use, though it's important to be careful with it. I can only travel from the back or the section of the employees only warehouse for those who work in the produce department. To the displays at one of the entrances to the main part of the supermarket, which is where the flat displays for the watermelons are. I can only travel through certain areas to and back from those entrance displays. They're kind of between the transitional area of the Wegmans, the transitional area being the area between the main part of the supermarket and the parking lot of the supermarket. And is where you'll find the supermarket's shopping carts, unless they've recently been used, in which case you'll most likely find them on the parking lot. Only certain areas are wide enough to comfortably move a hand jack through, especially if it's got on top of its forks one of the large octagonal cardboard containers that are used to store either mini seedless watermelons, which is what I restocked every time today, or regular watermelons. I took my 15-minute break today around 12:30 p.m. And I had to rush somewhat with the last product that was loaded on my designated cart for today to ensure that I ended my shift on time. After my mom picked me up from the Wegmans I work at and before our grocery shopping trip at the local Wegmans of my mom's area, we briefly stopped at my dad's place to pick up my laptop case from my room upstairs there after I packed it with my laptop, the charger to my laptop, my computer mouse, and my current pair of headphones. I put my phone charger in one of my pockets. I recall it was the one on my right side. Around 7 in the morning, I had with my first cup of plain coffee today a cranberry walnut muffin that was part of a 4-pack my dad got from a local Wegmans. And my dad drove me to the Wegmans I work at today. I recall waking up within the first few hours of today to an alarm I set on my laptop using a third-party website. Then I did so again at 6 in the morning after falling asleep about 3 hours later. During my 15-minute break, I participated in a little cherry treats event. That was being held in the break room. As a celebration. Complete with little aluminum cans of cherry flavored Coca-Cola, some cherries of a variety that had pits, so I had to exercise some caution at that time, and some wholesome branded, basically granola bars with dark chocolate and cherry nuts in them. I had one of everything that was offered. While I did some of the editing for the June 26 My Dinner video project before my dad took me to the Wegmans I work at, the majority of the editing for that video project in Camtasia 2019 was done after I woke up naturally around 6:45 p.m. after I fell asleep at my mom's place around 4:15 p.m. I slept then in my room upstairs at my mom's place, and then finished the editing for the June 26 My Dinner video project in Camtasia 2019 over roughly 4 hours during predominantly the early night hours, extending a bit into the late evening hours while I was at my little setup work area that's between our kitchen and our living room downstairs, which consists of 2 glass end tables together horizontally and a sofa with some blankets on it. My mom went out to the Dakota tonight, and she offered me to go with her, and it was somebody's birthday tonight, but I declined, instead signing a birthday card so I could focus on finishing the editing for the June 26 My Dinner video